I feel like I'm a good person to hang out with if you want to be encouraged to just like improvise, problem solve on the fly. If you're not, watching me do stuff might stress you out. This might not be a good place for you. You're welcome here. I'm just saying. Hello, welcome to the video. My goal for this week, my plan is to make a pair of shorts. I was organizing a closet recently and I came across this fabric. I ordered this back in 2020 during the early days of COVID. I was trying to make a dress and I cut most of it already for that pattern. My body has changed quite a bit since then, so that is a lost cause project. But I think there's enough leftover fabric to make a little pair of shorts. So a little while back, I bought the Lane Pants pattern from Sydney Graham, and she has a tutorial on her YouTube channel for taking that pattern and making a pair of shorts from it. So that's what I'm going to be using. This is the pattern. This is the state of the pattern right now. You get a PDF for it, and it would definitely be a lot easier to have a copy shop print this for you on a big piece of paper. But I live in the middle of nowhere and I'm not good about like planning ahead, and I wanted to get started on this today. So this is probably going to be all I get done today on this project, which is fine. I'm going to try and take my time, spread it out over a few days. But yeah, I got to piece all this together. I also think it would be more cost effective to have it printed somewhere else. This was 48 pages of paper, and then it's going to take a lot of tape to stick it together. I've done this before though, and it does work out. So it just takes a little bit of time. And so you just go in order, they're numbered, and you match up the lines. What do you match up? Wait, am I even doing this right? Oh no, I'm missing, this didn't print right. Already off to a typical start for me. It didn't print correctly. I thought I was being good, and I printed just this page so that I could measure the guide to make sure it was the right size, which it was. And so I was like, sweet. And then I just hit go on the rest of it, but it cut off, like, I cut off this edge. For sure, because these two pieces are supposed to line up, and it should say right there, it should say Lane Pants pocket flap. But as you can see, that's missing. So I think there should also be like a little bit of a diamond. There should be half a diamond here, I'm pretty sure. And there's not. So I gotta go figure that out, reprint it. I will be back. Okay. I'm back. I kind of got it. It's still not perfect, but I think that as long as I get these first pieces lined up correctly, it'll be fine. Printing stuff is always so fun. I kept getting an error message. It just said printer needs repair. Like, okay, what does that mean?
PC load letter? What the fuck does that mean?
It ended up just needing to have some cartridges replaced, which just, why not just say that, you know? And one of them I kind of made a mess with. But here we are. I got my first row all taped together. So I'm just gonna keep trucking. What is this piece? Waistband. Hopefully this is gonna work. Hopefully, I think it'll be fine. I think it's gonna be good enough. Hopefully it's forgiving. I'm just going to tape all these together and I will be back. when I'm done. Some of these are so messed up. I might have to reprint a few of them. I think I can put it all together and see what's kind of like off kilter too much and then just replace those pieces, hopefully. And this is not the pattern maker's fault or anything. I know she's legit, but my printer just got so, I don't know, it got messed up. Cause like, I'll show you. Like right here, I got this matched up, but matching this up here made this, like this little arrowhead is supposed to be over here. It's supposed to be attached to that line, and then like this is supposed to be a straight line, and then over here, all these lines are supposed to connect. But when I line these up to connect, then this all gets screwed up. Anyway, I'm gonna just keep going. I'm almost done. I've got it all taped together and I'm gonna start cutting it out. It's really very long, so I'm just gonna do what I can and then unfold some more of it. I highlighted the line for my size. Yeah, just so that I don't get confused. I'm easily confused. So, okay, I need to grab a pair of scissors and I'll be right back. Need to secure that a little bit better. Packing tape is where it's at for this little Scotch tape. I ran out of, for one thing, but then it also just doesn't work as well. Cover more ground with this stuff. That's better. I'm also gonna put this over here. Okay, I think it ended up working out just fine. There was a couple pieces, the pieces that weren't lining up very well were optional pieces for the pants, pockets, cargo pockets, and the drawstring, which I'm not sure I'm gonna do the drawstring, but obviously not doing cargo pockets, so that's not a problem. If I ever decide that I want to make a pair of pants with those pockets in the future, I will just print out those specific pages. Otherwise, I think it's good enough. And I need to clean up my mess now, and then maybe tomorrow we will figure out cutting the fabric, but that is all I'm doing today. So, yeah, I'm gonna just clean up and go chill for a little bit. Okay, hi, we're back. We are gonna go ahead and cut out some fabric now. There was a step where we had to trace the main pattern that I did yesterday onto a new piece of paper because there's a few adjustments that you have to make for the shorts to convert this pattern to shorts. So I've done that, and now we just cut it out. I think I have enough fabric, so that's good. Sometimes I wish I could figure out how to be like more of an organized person, because I just am constantly like, I'm just constantly putting things in my own way that I have to move 100 frickin' times. What's that? Like, see what's under there. There's pencils under there, pens. All right, I got all the pieces cut out. I was able to scrounge up just the right amount of fabric for the pockets and the waistband. I don't think I've ever made a pair of pants with pockets. This is only the third pair of pants that I've ever made. I made a pair of boxer shorts in junior high in home ec, and I made a pair of sweatpants a couple years ago. They didn't work out very well. But the pockets are new for me, so that's fun. Sewing is such like a satisfying project to do. Like, it's very challenging. Yeah, it's a really challenging activity for your brain. Lots of little directions to follow and make sure, you know, you get everything measured right, cut right. And I think it's funny how like it feels like it starts with so much chaos for me, and like I always make such a huge mess, and then I just have, you know, you're just left with like these very nice little clean cut pieces of fabric. I guess like I just like to get to this part where it's like I feel like I can breathe a little bit better. Oh, I changed my shirt too because I was getting hot. Okay, next we begin sewing, but am I gonna take a little break before I do that? I think. I just saw two flickers out on our deck. One must have been a baby because the other one was feeding it. It was pretty big, but it flew over to the other one, and the other one fed it from its mouth, so it must still be a baby. I love those birds though. I think they're so cool. They're so pretty. I know there's a couple of them that live close to here or live in the yard somewhere, because I have seen them a few times now hopping around out there eating stuff. So yeah, but they're just so cool. I never saw one before until we moved down here. There's so many different birds down here than what I grew up with seeing in Washington. Anyway, that's my bird news for the day. I think I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. Should I have a cup of coffee? It's almost 3 o'clock. Okay, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee, even though that's a terrible idea because I probably won't sleep tonight, but I feel like I need some caffeine, and I want to sew a little bit at least on these shorts today, so my brain needs the assistance. Coffee it is. Living on the edge here. All of our mugs are dirty. I guess I need to run the dishwasher. One of my friends sent this mug to all of us during the COVID lockdowns when everybody was watching Tiger King. I feel like I've made a lot of COVID references in this video. Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Weird times. Let's sew. Let's do some sewing, shall we? Okay. And then do it again. I think so. Does it say to press it? Press. It does say to press. Okay. Has anybody ever made a pattern, a Sydney Graham pattern before? I think she's pretty popular, or maybe it's just my algorithms, but I do see her mentioned a lot. Her patterns seem pretty simple and easy to follow from what I've seen. There's a skirt. She has a skirt pattern that I also want to get. Pockets are attached to the front legs. We are making progress. So like I said, I've never sewn a pocket before. So I immediately sewed my pocket shut, I think. I was confused about a step, and anyway, I just did a basting stitch, so that's easy to undo. I just gotta undo these real quick, and then I think I know what I did wrong after watching her tutorial. So, no biggie. This will probably only make sense to you if you know how to sew a pocket, but this next step, the picture has a corner that I did not have because I flipped my pocket inside out, but now I do have that little corner poking out now. After I finished that last step, I was like, I do not understand how pockets are supposed to work. How you're supposed to put your hand in here, but now I know. I messed it up. I now have a hole for my hand to go into. I now have a pocket. Okay, cool. I am a little concerned because in the video, this piece, the triangle piece here, is like a lot bigger than mine. I don't know why that is, but hopefully that's not gonna be an issue. No, it must be this side. I'm starting to see it. Starting to see the vision. Let's keep going. All right, so now I'm gonna attach the front leg to the back leg, and I'm a little confused again about how to line it up. How to line these pieces up together. I'm pretty sure I've done it incorrectly, and I'm just documenting this process, so I'm gonna show you. I think the bottom edges are supposed to line up and they're not, and then I think that the top edges are supposed to not be lined up. Let's try something different. Oh. That's what these notch lines were for. Right. You line those up together. There. Okay. I don't know, I'm gonna go with this. We'll put it facing the same way as the picture and see how it looks in comparison. How about we do that?
Seems kind of right. Also kind of wrong. So, I don't know. We'll see. It shouldn't be that surprising considering how like messed up my pattern printed out and stuff. So we're gonna just do the best that we can. It's a learning process. I also didn't cut off the bottom of I didn't cut the bottom off of this one. That's why it's extra long. Okay, let's do that real quick. Ta-da! Okay, that helps. So I think, okay, that's gonna work better. Yeah, that's gonna work better. Cool. There is a pocket. The hole seems a little small, but it is a pocket, so that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna do the other one and then see how I feel after I do the other one, if I want to keep going or not. I am not sure what I did to make the hole that my hand goes in so small. But I definitely did something wrong. Alright, I guess now we're sewing that curved part, which is called the rise, I guess. Didn't know that before. Now I know that, so that's cool. Learning is fun, isn't it? Alright, the next thing I have to do is the inseam, and I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. This feels like a good stopping point for the day. Yeah, I don't know, that seems tricky, and I've been at this for a couple hours now, and Journey needs to go outside, and it's time to stop for the day, so we'll get back to it later, okay? Good progress today, though. Good progress. Learned a lot so far. Good morning. We're gonna get these shorts finished up today. I just have to do the inseam, the hem, and the waistband. Just have to do those things. I was just watching the tutorial video again, and I think I understand how to do the inseam. So that's where we're gonna start today. Just pinning that up. Yeah, okay. So we just have to pin this. This is what we're stitching right here. We have leg holes.
How's that looking? I mean, they kind of are starting to look like shorts, huh? Fun. Cool, okay. That's exciting. I'm excited. The next step is the waistband, and the pattern says to use an 1.5 inch wide elastic, but I only have this 2-inch wide elastic. I could have made this piece wider in the beginning to make it work with this elastic, but I only had this. I only had enough fabric to make it this wide, and hardly even that because there was like, it's cut right there. So I'm gonna have to like stitch that up too. Anyway, I'm gonna cut 1/2 inch off the width of this, hopefully. That's my plan. Hopefully it works okay. All right, well, it's like not a clean edge, obviously, but it's gonna be inside of this. Is it gonna be okay? We'll see, I guess. Ooh, I don't know about that. I foresee this being a big mess in the future. How did they finish the edges of these? Can I melt it? I'm gonna run it through the machine and do a zigzag stitch like the way that you finish the raw edges. I might also try to like melt it with the lighter. Ooh, yikes. I don't. I think that's working. I feel like I'm a good person to hang out with if you want to be encouraged to just like improvise, try things, problem solve on the fly. If you're not looking for that type of inspiration, watching me do stuff might stress you out. This might not be a good place for you. You're welcome here. I'm just saying. If I were to advise somebody, better advice might be to like plan in advance and like look at your list of things that you need and make sure that you have those things. You know, if you don't want to have to problem solve and make do with what you have in your closet and hope that it works. Like, you know, if you want to make sure that it's going to work, then just do it right. But otherwise, you know, you can figure stuff out. You can just figure stuff out. And yeah. Like this is working. This is working. I'll let you know, I guess, if it ends up making a mess later on. Obviously, proceed with caution. You know, if you're gonna do something like this. Does that smell bad? Probably. It does smell pretty bad. Journey's like, what are you doing, lady? What are you doing? Life is more fun when you approach it this way too, I think. You know, I'm not limited to the supply list and only, you know, doing stuff when the circumstances are perfect. Let's put it in. Let's put it in. Let's make the waistband. Okay. Next step is sew this edge so that it makes a big loop, and then I attach it to the waistband of the shorts. I'm just gonna go do all of that and I'll be back. I attached the waistband. Okay, now I have to get this elastic in here and supposed to use a safety pin, and I thought I had a safety pin somewhere, but I cannot find it. So I'm gonna try to just use a paper clip. We'll see how this works. I don't know. I'm just gonna like shove it through. Can I shove it through? Yeah. Just like you would a safety pin. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, I don't think. Next thing I'm gonna try, binder clip. Safety pins are something that I really should have on hand. I'm gonna put that on my list. Okay, I made it back to the opening. Almost. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Oh. I'm doing this again because I let go of the end of the elastic and it went back inside. And then when I pulled it back out, it was very frayed. So I did run it through the machine with a zigzag stitch. I forgot to do that before. So that was a good test of the burning of it, I guess. Did not hold up. But in theory, the stitching should hold it together, right? We'll see. All right, so I got the elastic in. As you can see, they are a little big, which is okay. I can just, I just need to like cut the elastic and then they'll cinch up. But yeah, I need to cut a couple inches off the elastic. Okay, I've got these fitting pretty well. The only thing that's left to do is the hem. I am starving, so I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I'm just gonna have a leftover taco from last night's dinner. Nothing very exciting, but I'll meet you back here after that. While I was eating, I was watching a video from Shauna Rapari. She makes videos about overconsumption. And when I first started seeing them, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, do we really need to be told that that type of overconsumption is not normal and that it's like not reasonable? She shows TikTok videos of like, from like influencers, and it's like their makeup hauls, their clothing hauls, or their like restock my coffee cart or whatever, those type of videos. And she comments on them and stuff. And a lot of them are just like really over the top, and you would never probably, like a normal person probably just really doesn't shop that way. So I was like, is this type of video necessary? But I liked something about her, so I kept watching her videos anytime that they would pop up, and like listening to her talk about it all the time, even though those people's shopping habits are like way more extreme than mine. It really did get me to start looking at and scrutinizing my own shopping behaviors and like find ways that I was over consuming or just like making mindless purchases without thinking about like, do I need this thing? Will it fit into my life? And that's kind of why I think I started thrifting a lot more. And one of the reasons we canceled our Amazon Prime, one of the reasons, I was just thinking about that because I'm sewing these shorts, and it's like sewing your own clothes really makes you think about like what goes into making a garment, even something as simple as a pair of shorts. And then you go and you look at the store and you're like, why and how is this pair of shorts, how does this cost only like $10 or $15? You know what I mean? And I think it's a good way to just like help you get more of an appreciation for your clothes, and like maybe encourage you to be more mindful about the clothes that you're purchasing. For me anyways, this is how I feel about it. And then like also just taking good care of them and stuff, you know, making them last as long as possible. Yeah, but she's really been, even though when I first started seeing her, I was like, this is like, obviously these people are ridiculous. I'm not like that, but she still has had like a really big effect on my consumer behavior. Anyway, I like her videos. I never miss one anymore. She's pretty good. Anyway, I'm done with lunch and I'm gonna go finish my shorts. Shorts. We did it. They're cute. Okay, I'm gonna go put them on. It's really hard to see in the camera, but I think that they are cute. I want to go look in the mirror so I can see them better. But one thing is the pocket holes. I don't know what I did wrong with the pockets, but the opening is so small. Like I can barely get my hand in there. I don't know what I did wrong on the pockets, but otherwise, I think we did okay. Okay, I want to go in the bedroom and try them on. I said try them on. I meant see how they look. I already have them on, obviously. I think they're really cute. They're very like baggy. They fit comfortably. I, of course, want to try styling them, so don't leave yet. Let's see how they look like as a cute outfit. Okay, I think these are really cute. I think that I will wear these a lot this summer. These are so comfy, and like with a fitted tank top and these chunky sandals, I think that looks actually really cute. What do you think? I gotta, of course, try them with my denim jacket. Yeah, those are cute. I like these. Like, I really do like these. Hi, sweet girl. Can you come back over here on your bed? I think I did a pretty good job, actually. So fun. Okay, well, I guess that's gonna do it for this week's video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me through all the ups and downs of that project. I think it ended up turning out really well. You know, a few notes for the next time, but overall pretty successful project. I learned how to sew a little bit when I was little, like a little kid. You know, just the very basics of using a sewing machine pretty much. And I don't have really hardly any experience sewing clothing, so I consider myself to be very much a beginner still. Lot to learn. But that was fun. That was a fun little project, and I'm definitely going to make more variations of that pattern. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.